Good morning. Day 85 of hiking the Appalachian Trail in 100 days. Heading up, decent climb this morning of over 1,000 feet to Little Bald, and then a few miles later I'll hit Big Bald. It's definitely been warmer in the mornings, not as cool as it was like a week ago. Yesterday it was hotter in the afternoon. I don't think it was super hot, but I was sweating a lot because I was going up the mountains. So we'll see what the weather holds over the last few weeks of the trip. But regardless of what the weather is, I plan to be at Springer Mountain on day 100. Out in this open meadow here, and have some views of the mountains out there, but got a little bit of down coming up and then some up to Big Bald, which we can see the top of up there. So hopefully we'll get some even better views up there. Up on the top of Big Bald, just over 5,500 feet, and really awesome views. And down there, clouds are kind of puddling in the valleys, which is super neat. I'm not sure how well you can see it on camera because of the sun, but it looks absolutely awesome from here. And yeah, just views all around. 360 degrees, which is really cool. Neat view behind me. At Sam's Gap here, just after 11 a.m. crossing under Interstate 26. Certainly a good sign that we're moving south. I remember, I don't really remember what state it was in. Might have been New York, or probably New York. We crossed Interstate 90. So if you aren't aware, the higher numbered highways, in terms of evens, the higher numbers are in the north and the lower in the south. So we were at 90 at some point early on in the hike, and now we're at 26. So definitely making progress. It's just after 1 o'clock and have a pretty nice section of trail right here. I did stop right around noon at the Hogback Ridge shelter for my little lunch break. Just had my snacks and filled up on some water. And I was stopped there a little over 40 minutes actually, because the walk to the water was a little ways, like close to a quarter mile, I think. So, but that's totally fine. Not in a super rush. I have about 7.5 miles left to the shelter I'm going to tonight, and I should get there sometime around 4 o'clock, either at 4 o'clock or maybe 10 or 20 minutes after. But that'll be a nice change. Not as long of a day today, and getting to camp a little earlier again, which will be nice. I think I have mentioned this, but over the last 150-ish miles, pretty much south of Damascus, none of the shelters have had privies or any sort of like bear box or bear cable. And because of that, partly because of that, I didn't really end up staying in many of the shelters anyway. But now I think I'm in a section where a different club is maintaining the trail and shelters. So I know the place I'm staying tonight will have either a bear cable or bear box, not sure which, and a privy. So that will be a nice change. Won't have to dig a hole So definitely looking forward to that. Nice little view here, looking out just over the side of the mountain. There we go. In the tent for the night and got to camp at just about 4 o'clock, so had a nice relaxing late afternoon and evening, which was certainly good for a change. And there is, like I mentioned, a bear box and privy here, so that was super awesome to just throw my food in the bear box and not have to find a tree. Because, hanging a bear bag isn't a super big deal, but sometimes it can be tricky to find a suitable tree, and it takes 10 or 20 minutes of looking around to find one, and then to actually hang the bag takes a few more minutes. So it's not the end of the world, but it just takes up more time. And same with digging a cat hole and all that kind of stuff. And there is also a stream near the shelter, which is nice. I haven't really been staying the last the last number of days at places that have had water, and obviously that's partly on me, but it certainly is nice to have water, right by the camp. So filled up a lot on water and was drinking a lot, and kind of rinsed out a little bit of my clothing, like my shirt, tried to get a little of the sweat out of it, and a pair of my socks, tried to get a little of the dirt out of them, and just clean them up a little bit, and then rinsed off my feet and face some, just to freshen up a little bit. So I've heard some people talk down on people for doing stuff like that in the water sources, but it doesn't really seem like a big issue to me, since the source is flowing, and especially with this source, it's like flowing pretty well. So I don't think it's really an issue, and I certainly wouldn't have a problem with someone else doing that in that water source, and then me drinking from it sometime later. So hopefully people don't get upset by that. I'm staying at the Flint Mountain Shelter tonight, which is at mile 1888.6, and the total miles today was 22.3, so right back in that 22 range, which is nice. And in terms of history from 1888, the only really notable thing I can think of is the presidential election. And I believe in that year it would have been Benjamin Harrison, I think, that won that election, because I know 96 was McKinley, and then before him was Cleveland, and then before him was Harrison. So it would have been Benjamin Harrison that won the 1888 election. And he was the grandson of William Henry Harrison, who was the 9th president. And Benjamin Harrison, of course, was the 23rd president. So I don't think he really did anything very notable while he was in office, that I know of at least. But that's my history for the day. If you have anything to add or correct anything that I said, definitely let me know in the comments. And just one day tomorrow of a full day, and then on Friday I'll be heading into Hot Springs and have a little bit shorter day. And I read in my guidebook this afternoon that there is some sort of diner there, a restaurant that has an Appalachian challenge, and it's some sort of ginormous burger. So I might be interested in checking that out, and maybe getting some food there when I'm in Hot Springs in 2 days.